Good evening, everybody. This is Tinsley Myrick and
Dana Tapia.
Remax
Hey, Beaches.
of the new Gettin Beachy Podcast. And this is episode number 2. How you doing tonight here, Dana?
Number 2.
Right.
Exciting times. All is well.
Yes.
Not beachy at all today. It was a little rainy out.
Right. Well, what have we been hearing lately from buyers about interest rates?
Well, the rates are just too high. I'm not going to buy now.
Yeah.
A lot of that.
We have somebody that is an expert in this area locally here that we've done a lot of deals with, each one of us, right? I'm doing one right now. And her name is Helga James with the Barr Group Mortgage. She is the owner of Barr Group Mortgage. And here she is. Hey, Helga.
Hey, I'm frozen, but now I'm not. Okay.
We see you. You're moving. We hear you. Thanks for coming on. How are you tonight?
I'm fabulous. Thanks, guys, so much for doing this, spreading the word about our beaches and spreading the word about interest rates. Glad to be on with you, beaches.
Yes. Good one. So I know I don't fully understand why we were having such a great market and then somebody wanted to slow the economy down. Doesn't make any sense to me as a realtor, but maybe you can shed some light on it. Does it make any sense to you, Helga?
I guess a little bit because, things cannot continue to always go up and up and up and up. They kind of needed it to level off, but that's where the minds in our government can sometimes overcorrect. And I think that's, what has happened and what we will see next year is getting back some of that correction that they've tried to make. So I do agree that it did need to slow down because, we don't want a bubble burst, and then we're absolutely not going to have that. It keeps going up and up and up. We just need to kind of level it off, but they kind of did that, so we need to fix it. Yeah. And that's kind of where we are right now.
Well, nobody's asking us what we should do. And that's really irritating. But so you have some good news for us, right?
I do. Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. I mean, interest rates were insanely low in 2020, 2021. We probably won't see that again in our lifetimes. I mean, if you took advantage of it, more power to you. Good job. You did excellent.
A healthy economy. I remember
the 2 point something. You know what I mean? I think I even know somebody that got in the ones at one point. That's just insane. And we're not going to see that again. But people are kind of a herd mentality, so everybody's buying and then nobody's buying and then everybody's buying. And I mean, I see that daily with what happens in the market with the interest rates. You hear one little piece of news and everybody jumps on this bandwagon and the rates get better. And then you hear another piece of news and everybody jumps on that bandwagon and the rates get worse. So, I mean, I see it all the time. People are just, sheep. We're just kind of following along. And so what we had was the really, really, really good rates. Then we had the overcorrection by the government, and they're talking about cutting short-term rates, in the spring. Then they kind of held off and said, we may not do it in the spring. So then, the rates were getting better. Then they kind of started to level off. So we're kind of waiting to see what happens. I do think that interest rates will get better. We will start to see a more healthy balance. Not this crazy low rates. I know, crazy low rates, crazy high rates. I mean, we just need a balance. We need a healthy economy. And I think they're striving to that, but did make an overcorrection. So we should see the interest rates come down. But the good news, and I think this is what you're hinting at,
yes,
is a 2-year no lender fee refi. So that is super exciting news. So basically, the school of thought is that when the interest rates get better, more buyers will come into the market because you guys know, you hear it every day. I'm not buying right now. Why? Dana, why are you not buying right now?
They're waiting for that rate to come down.
They're waiting for that rate to come down. That's what they're waiting for. They're waiting and
waiting.
Other things. Among other things. But that's definitely the biggest pushback I get is the interest rates. But that's what I do all day.
Sure.
So I hear it all the time, the interest rates are too high. Well, my concern for these people is that okay, so the interest rates drop a percentage point. So now more people can afford to come into the market. More people are excited about coming into the market. And then we see the prices go up. Now, you guys know a lot more about the market and the values and things like that. So everybody listening, please talk to these guys about that stuff.
Yes.
But if that does happen and the prices do go up, you missed out on a $10,000 sales increase because you were worried about an interest rate that you could have gotten if you just refinanced. So if you look at the cost of a refi, that's $3,000 or $4,000, but you just lost 10 grand in purchase price. So you made a $6,000, $7,000 mistake. But we're offering a no lender fee refi. So we're going to help you with a lot of those closing costs. So you can kind of get today's prices at tomorrow's interest rates. If I'm right.
Basically what we're talking about is you can go ahead and buy today. There's no reason to have to wait. And before prices go up, because when interest rates come down, for sure they're going to go up. The prices are going to go up. And then they can refi with you within 2 years of their purchase, right? And it'd be like a cash sale. There's only there's not the lending fees, the closing cost fees.
No underwriting, no points unless you decided you wanted to buy down the rate. We're not going to charge you points. We're not going to charge underwriting. We're not going to charge processing. We're not going to charge any of those lender fees. So it is like a cash closing.
So if someone's buying a $600,000 condo, they're going to save.
They're going to save $2,000.
Yeah. And if they're buying a $400,000 house.
Well, closing costs are about the same. I mean, the fees that we charge, because underwriting's a flat fee, processing's a flat fee. So if you're buying a $150,000 house or a $1.5 million house, it's about the same.
Okay. All right. What else do you want us to know about rates?
I mean, just watch the market and talk to people like me. I mean, we have seen with the rates improvements that happened in January, we did see more buyers come into the market. I mean, I'm sure you guys had a busier January than you did December. I mean, everybody that I'm talking to says that they did. Is that because it's a new year? Is that because it's the better interest rates? I mean, if you look historically at how many people are buying in January, and you look at the uptick that you've had in January versus where you were in December, the data would lead me to believe that it's the interest rates. I mean, do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, what I'm seeing is that people are starting to get used to the higher interest rates, so like the new normal. And yes, they've come down, but my mom told me in 1984 when she built her house, someone with good credit, it was like 14%.
Yeah. Well, we hit 8. We hit perfect credit in the 8s.
We got used to those low rates. When I first started in 2004, it was 6%.
Yeah. In 1999, it was about 7. I've been doing this a long time. I look good.
You do look good.
She was a child lender. So speaking of, how long have you been in business? Well, how long have you been doing lending?
I've been doing it over 25 years. Barr Group Mortgage opened in 1999.
Very exciting times.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Now, Helga, do you deal with VA loans, USDA? Are you equipped for the common Dana moving from Excel, Alabama down to the Gulf because she wants to get beachy? Or you do mainly investments and condos and things? Well, can you help me get a little house in Bay Minette?
Yes. And I love little houses in Bay Minette, and I love VA loans. I'm actually a certified VA home loan specialist, and I absolutely love VA loans, and they are the best loans. I mean, I absolutely love a VA loan. And speaking of VA loans, I would like to quell the rumors that it's a harder property to buy, like from the listing agent standpoint. And I think this is a lot of like older realtors that were selling houses in the 80s or 90s when a VA appraiser would come out and just tear that place apart, and they're like, no, we're not going to do a VA loan, or the seller has to pay fees if it's a VA loan. Well, Barr Group's not going to make the seller pay any fees. We're going to eat any seller paid fees. We don't want to have a veteran not be able to purchase a property because the seller doesn't want to pay some fee. You know what I mean? That we're absolutely not going to go for that. So we will absolutely absorb that. And VA loans have something called the Tidewater Act. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but basically what that means, if you have a property that's not going to appraise, that VA appraiser has to contact the realtors and the mortgage company and let them know, hey guys, I'm struggling with value. So you have 48 hours to get that appraiser any more information, any additional comparables, any more information that they may need to help them get to value. You don't have that on conventional. You don't have that on FHA, USDA. You don't have that on anything else. So people that are fearful of a VA appraisal really, really don't need to be. I would say the only thing to be fearful about is VA won't let you close if there's an issue on the house. So for example, if you're buying a property and it has rotten wood, walking in from the outside to the inside, you get rotten wood all the time in the frame. They're going to want that fixed before you close. So yes, the seller is going to have to fix that. But with a good realtor, there's nothing to worry about with a VA loan. I love VA loans. So,
well, that's exciting. Look at there. She's patriotic, beautiful, and smart. Helga's got it all. She's not even beachy about it.
I'm
very pleasant.
I'm not talking to underwriters right now. That's why I'm not beachy.
There you go.
Well, should I go ahead and bring out that listing? We're here on Gettin Beachy. We've decided to do a listing of the day, and I just got a new listing at the Beach Club. And let me bring that out, and you can tell. Let's see. Oh, here we go. I've never done this before. Okay, so this is. I have sold 221 beach clubs. I don't know if you know that, Helga, but
wow, I did not know that.
People do call me the beach club queen. They literally do.
Yeah.
So this one is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It's at the Beach Club down Fort Morgan Road. It's about 12 miles down Fort Morgan Road. It's very self-contained. It is $615,000. We have a very competitive price on it, $615,000. And just quickly, I'm gonna just show you some pictures real quick, and see how beautiful it is out there. It's 16 acres, Gulf front.
Wow.
We're trying to get in there to get pictures. They've actually made some upgrades, and I'm using the rental pictures because the snowbirds are, well, they haven't responded yet. So
that happens.
There's a lot of amenities there. It's amenity heavy, as I like to say, at the Beach Club. 5 pools. There's a mile promenade you can walk down right by the beach. Water activities, all kinds of stuff.
Do they have pickleball? That's what people want to know.
They do.
Is there pickleball?
There's pickleball. They have all new equipment in their fitness center, and it's just a beautiful property.
Beautiful landscaping there too, and you can go straight from hot tub to pool if you're into the cold plunge thing.
Yes,
we used to go there a lot when my kids were little.
Yeah, but everybody down here has pretty much gotten the pickleball. You go to some of the Phoenix, they've turned like one tennis court into pickleball. They're catching up with the trends.
Helga, are you a pickleball aficionado?
I'm not an aficionado, but I do have a really nice pickleball set.
Oh, you're ready.
Oh, I'm ready. Yeah. I've played 5 or 6 times, but I'm not good yet.
Okay. Well, and if anybody
talented too.
If anybody has any questions about that property, please email us at gettinbeachypodcast@gmail.com. And that email goes to both of us, by the way. So, did you want to say anything? You do Beach Club all day long, right? I mean,
oh yeah, I love the Beach Club. I have staycationed at the Beach Club. We had my parents' anniversary party at the Beach Club. My sister stayed there for her honeymoon, or the night that she got married. Before the honeymoon, she stayed at the Beach Club. I mean, it is definitely a premier property down here. I mean, I will say I love it.
And Scott and I had our wedding reception there, and in the pictures you can see Bristol and Avalon Towers under construction. That's how far back that was.
Wow, that's
But yeah,
cool.
like how many beach club, how many loans do you think you've done? If you had to
Oh, at the
guess.
beach club?
It's a lot, right? Is it
Yeah, it's a lot.
221?
It's not 221, no, but I might be getting close to 100. I might. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
I really it's a good question. I wanna go back and look, but I don't know if I'd have a way to know since, like, 1999. You know what I mean? I don't
Oh,
think I
well,
could even
yeah, because the first building was built in '98. It was
yeah, so
Catalina.
I don't know how I would I don't think I could figure it out. It's a ton, though. I
I'm
could tell
sure
you
you
how
have
many
it in
did
your
in the
record.
last 5 years.
Next
Yeah,
time we're gonna
somewhere.
quiz you on that.
Okay,
So
I'll be ready.
and, Dana does a lot of houses. I do some houses, as you know. I'm doing a house loan
Mhm.
with, my clients from Scotland. Aren't they
Yeah, I love
fun?
them. Yeah, they are fun.
And it's pre-construction. It's here on Wedgwood here in town, and there's lots of good opportunities right now. That's where the deals are right now. Pre-construction homes, single family homes. Dana, why don't you talk about that because you do a lot of those.
Well, first of all, we have our first comment from
Oh, we do.
somebody, and she wants to know if Helga can service down there in the Tampa, Florida area.
That's right. This is our assistant.
That is. It's
Oh, here
Marion.
we go. Here we
Yes.
go.
We are licensed in the state of Florida, so if you need anything in Florida, just give us a call. We got you covered.
You
The
didn't
whole
think
state
that
of
would be
Alabama
the
and the
answer,
whole
did
state
you?
of Florida.
Look at there,
So
Marion. You too can have
Marion
Helga.
is the Myrick team assistant, and when she moved down there, we insisted that she still work for us because she's so wonderful.
But
So
she's also taken that market by storm and doing her own thing. So she will have
yes,
some business for you, Helga,
Heck
as
yeah.
she
that's right.
conquers what is that, middle Florida area? It's not technically
Yeah.
south, is it? Mid Florida?
Well, it's just south of Tampa. She lives just south of the bay. But yeah, that's a nice area down there. I love spending time down there on my boat. But any more
So back
questions
to
there, Marion?
yeah, Marion, chime in again. Back to the house thing. Yes,
Yes.
for those looking to move here, there are some wonderful, wonderful opportunities on new construction. So email us, call, check in with us. We'll help you.
I'm gonna put you on the big screen there. So what else do you
Oh,
have to
it's
say,
too
Dana?
late now. Gosh, that's a phoenix behind me, by the way. Helga,
That's
can
right.
you do phoenixes?
We can do phoenixes. So the way that
Oh,
we do
yay.
condos, you have a Fannie Mae unavailable list. And so lenders from Yahoo, Michigan, or whatever have sent in a condo questionnaire on some condo projects that are not answered correctly. And that gets to underwriting, that gets to Fannie Mae, and then Fannie Mae will unavailable that property. Unavailable is blacklist, basically. So they'll blacklist the
Unavailable
condo.
that property. I like that.
Yes,
That's a
they will
nice
I don't
way
like
to
it when
say
it
it.
happens, but I mean, I
Yeah.
like that
Right.
expression.
So they put it on the unavailable list, and then you have Fannie Mae. So on one hand you have Fannie Mae, the other hand you have Freddie Mac. So if you're on the Fannie Mae unavailable list, you go look at Freddie Mac. Freddie Mac does it a little bit differently. They do red, green, and yellow, just like stop, caution, go. So we look at both lists. Lately, if Fannie Mae, I always say these backwards, so I'm going to be slow. If Fannie Mae has it on the unavailable list, Freddie Mac checks Fannie Mae's list. And if it's due to condo-tel characteristics, then Fannie Mae doesn't want to lend on it either. Freddie Mac doesn't want to lend on it either. So we have other programs for that. So we have more and more portfolio lenders are coming into the market. I mean, because we are a great
Yay.
American country, and
That's wonderful.
I love to hear that.
yeah, and people see opportunity, and people that are buying investment condos, that are buying second home condos, have high credit scores. They're putting
Yes.
money down. They're not risky loans.
Right.
Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are governed by FHFA. FHFA is very, very concerned with low income, low credit borrowers right now. So they've kind of taken a step back on condos and investment properties. Because they've taken that step back, there's a huge market for people to come into. I've seen it grow exponentially on what you have for portfolio loans.
This
now.
is such good news.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's amazing. So let's say Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, if you're doing a conventional loan, I'm just making up numbers. Let's say your interest rate is 7.5. Well, it might be 7.99 if you're going with a portfolio loan, but it's still a 30-year fixed. It's still an excellent program, excellent product, still 2-year, no lender fee refi. I mean, and the cool thing about a lot of those is there's no CD 3-day waiting period.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
This is why we have you, because there's just so much to know. And
there is.
And when we get people that say, "Oh, I'm going to check with my lender," like you said, what did you say? Yahoo, Michigan,
Yahoo, Michigan,
or Yazoo City, or whatever. They were like, "Oh, please don't."
Yeah,
Let's talk to one of our wonderful lenders down here that know how to get around. How do you have the exceptions made? You guys just always seem to figure it out. Just like I'm hoping the insurance companies do soon. I believe they will.
Yeah.
But you guys always say that this is what you do.
Well, we have to. And I mean, I've been doing this long enough that, I've seen it go from like condo loving to condo hating to condo loving to condo hating to condo loving to condo hating. I mean, I feel like I'm just picking a flower. They love me not. They love me, they love me not. And it's going to swing back around to they love me. I mean, this is America. We are capitalists. They are going to see that these are well-performing, excellent loans. And Fannie and Freddie are going to want to get back in. And when they get back in, we're going to see improvements in those interest rates, because it's those loan level price adjustments that are making the interest rates higher for second home and investment properties. Because
you said it was like a tax. It's like a tax, because they're picking on, how did you put it?
Low income and lower credit borrowers. They're not picking on them, but
there was something that the reason there's a tax is because you explained it before. I'm not ringing any bells. I don't want to get
beachy about it, though.
Don't go getting beachy.
Well,
not that kind of beachy.
If you want to buy a condo, you need to call us, because we figure it out. That's what we do down here. We don't go get other jobs. We don't go work at, well, I better not say that. There's nothing wrong with working there, but this is what we do. I've been doing this since 2003. We don't want to be controversial.
20 years.
So this is, so since 2003, I've seen it myself. I've seen the ups and downs. I've heard the with agents say, "Well, you got to have cash to buy a condo." No, you're just not talking to the right person.
Right.
Sometimes it's two people that can do loans, and sometimes it gets to be more people.
Yeah.
But so Marion, I think you just answered this one. Marion says, "What's the difference between warrantable properties and non-warrantable properties?"
Well, that question is answered in the eye of the beholder, because every underwriter is going to answer that question differently. So you can have an underwriter look at a Phoenix condo and say, absolutely, that's not warrantable. I found it on short-term rentals. But then you have another underwriter and they're in Yahoo, Michigan, and cause it to be on the unavailable list, and all that crazy crap.
City.
City. But then you have another underwriter that's like, and this is kind of like what we did at the beach club. We knew that was not a condotel. So I probably have a stack of paper this deep to prove why the beach club is not a condotel. I mean, there is so much information, because if you first glance the beach club, like you said, it's very amenity heavy. So you think, oh, well, this is definitely a condotel. I can rent short term. I've got a pool. So there's restaurants on site. I've got all these things.
A front desk.
Okay. Well, that front desk is not owned by the HOA. That front desk is not on the same parcel of land that Avalon, Catalina, so you just go deep, and then you go deep, and then you go deep, and then you go deep. And then I've got a file this big, and that's how I've gotten the beach club approved. So if you're not willing to put in the work and the time to get these projects approved, and if you're doing one loan from Yazoo City on one beach club unit, are you going to spend 40 hours getting the documentation on it? No, but am I? Yes, because I want Tinsley to send those 200 beach club buyers to me.
221.
221.
Well, I never understood it. Never made people go, well, why would they call it? Because it's not deeded as a condotel. The difference is, I don't know how they get away with it, calling it a condo. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I don't have to understand, because Helga understands, right? Right, Dana?
Absolutely. And that's why we trust our trusted lenders.
That's right.
So we don't have to be experts in that.
Well, just like I can't be an expert in the market, I mean, it takes a team to get things done. And when you were talking earlier, Tinsley, I think it's more full-time agents. When you said we don't work at other places, you want to work with a full-time real estate agent. You don't want this to be your second job. You don't want to do this at night after work or after school. And
no, we do podcasts after work.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I can tell you from like a lender's perspective, we know when we're working with a good realtor and when we're working with some other realtor, and it's really hard to, just bite your tongue and be like, have you heard from your real estate agent yet?
Yeah.
I reached out to your realtor 3 or 4 times and I haven't heard from them yet. Can you try to call them? I mean, that's the kind of thing that you get when it is a part-time agent. So I thank you guys for sticking with it and knowing your stuff and getting in there.
We're not getting other jobs.
Yeah,
no.
We love working with agents.
And we appreciate you closing the deal and getting the financing that our people need, because we can sell stuff all day long, but if they can't get what they need, they're lost. So
that's right.
Right. And I know too that not only the buyer's ability to purchase, but your livelihood, my livelihood is all tied into that closing. So if we say that you're going to close, I'm pretty darn sure you're going to close. Somebody's going to have to die, get a divorce, have some crazy tax lien added, buy a new car. I mean, I've seen it.
I know you deal with that sometimes. Someone goes and buys a car in the middle of the process.
I had one customer one time, like at the closing table, I said, you cannot buy a car until tomorrow. And they said, well, we're going to the dealership right after this. I said, you cannot buy a car today. Like today.
That's good to know, Dana.
How is good to know? I mean, do you want to be accused of mortgage fraud? Because how am I going to prove that your closing was at 2:00 and you bought the car at 4:30? I mean, like, can you just wait until tomorrow?
I need a camera in the office. Wow.
I was at a closing one time and I got a phone call from the underwriter and they said, your borrower doesn't work at the school anymore. I said, what do you mean? Like, we just did a verification of employment. And they said, well, we did a day of verification of employment and she doesn't work there anymore. So I had been asked to come out of the closing to take this phone call. I walked back in. I said, so you don't work at the elementary school anymore? And she said, oh, no, that's right. I retired.
Oh, no.
And I know you tell them don't make any changes.
Tell me that you retired. And she goes, well, I didn't think about it because I'm substituting in the class that I retired from. So she was still going to work every day doing the same job that she always did. So she didn't think to mention it to me. We closed the next day.
Oh, hallelujah for you.
Oh my gosh, you really did? You closed the next day?
Closed the next day. But yeah.
Well, here, I don't know if you know that what I do, when I get because we have some inexperienced agents in the market and I try to be gentle with them, but they bring me a contract on a listing that says they're getting a loan. I want to know who.
Yeah.
And they go, I don't know. Sometimes they just don't know it's important.
Yeah.
And then they insist. I have written it in the contract that if that doesn't work out, they have to talk to A, B, or C here in this area. But I'll say, well, did you ask them this? Well, and did you ask the lender this? Or did you ask the lender that? So I'll say, give me the number. And it's not even my client, but I call the lender and say, do you know these are not warranted? They're not Fannie Mae approved. And there's silence.
Yeah.
And sometimes they get mad, like I'm telling them what to do or something. But pretty soon it'll shorten the whole process and they'll bow out and then they'll go to you.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, the problem is though, that they're going to start out with their best friend in Yahoo, Michigan, and their best friend in Yahoo, Michigan is going to get a condo questionnaire. And then that condo questionnaire is going to end up in the little meaty hands of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. And then it's going to end up on the blacklist.
Yep. Oh, that's even okay. So that's another reason. Okay. I was just thinking that we're 20 days down the line and we have to do an extension, because they're not with the right lender.
Yeah.
But that's another reason that you should have a seasoned agent. Isn't that right, Helga?
Yes, absolutely. Because there are too many rescue files. And I love and hate rescue files. I love them because I love to be the hero and come in and fix it and make it all better. I hate how they've already been doing this for almost 30 days and they're already frustrated and they come in a bad mood. They've already given their bank statements. They've already given their pay stubs. And I'm like, I need your bank statements. I already gave it to you. Well, you gave it to the other guy. And now I need you to give it to me. And a lot of times, no. Yeah, a lot of times, no. But they're already just so frustrated with the process. And I swear underwriters have like psychology degrees. They're like, we can push them to this point, and that's as far as we can go. And then they'll push them to this point, and then they'll approve the loan. It's like they know everybody's breaking point, it seems like sometimes. So they just start out already broken. It's hard.
Well, I'm going to another important part of the process is a good closing agent. And who do we all love? I personally am hopefully she's watching. She's going to be a guest. It's Lisa at Clear Title, who has about 100 years of experience. Something like that. But
or her experience makes her feel 100 years old. I think that's how that works.
Mm-hmm.
She's another one that doesn't give up. And I love it when we've got good people, in the whole process that I know is not going to give up.
Yeah, because there are times when we're going to get a package late, for a million reasons. It could be that we're waiting on the appraiser for something. We're waiting on the insurance for something. The borrower was on a cruise and couldn't get us the information. I mean, there are times where we're like, coming into the closing on two wheels, trying to make that date happen. And working with people like Lisa, you're like, hey, I need, I'm going to get you, we're closing at 4. I'm going to get this to you at 3:15. Are you good? And she's like, yeah, I got it.
Yeah. I had a guy, speaking of, who lived in Russia, and, you have to have a notary, and he had to drive 8 hours to the embassy to get something.
Yeah. I had somebody go to the consulate in India one time.
Oh, wow. How about you, Dana? You got any?
I had one in Indonesia that had to go to the consulate in Indonesia and have everything done. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But we digress, girls. We digress.
We're so international.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I wish I could bring Marion on. Marion, do you have any more questions? She's over here. I think she's watching. We've had about 4 people watching at once, but there'll be a lot of people that watch.
What a crowd.
We hope to someday have, Marion, if you're still watching, ask another question. But I think
Helga, it has been a pleasure having you and all your just expansive knowledge.
I could talk about mortgages all day, y'all.
You crunched it up as best you could, and boy, that was a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and will you come back? Like let us know when there's a big change, and we'll do this again.
Well, that's why I love mortgages. It's not boring. It changes every single day. I think that's why
there's going to be a lot of pent up demand once things inch down a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think we all agree on that. And insurance companies that are going to start there. I heard an HOA president say recently there were 50 in the market. Now there's 5.
Yeah.
But there'll be more because that's an opportunity for somebody. I mean,
and we're going to have an insurance person on very soon to go over all this stuff. So that's exciting too, because insurance is another big challenge. So stay tuned. We'll solve all the problems
here on Gettin Beachy.
And if we don't know how, we know some beaches that do.
That's right. And with that, how do we end this, Dana? Until next time.
Oh, that's right.
Keep it beachy.
Keep it
beachy.
Bye, y'all.